Hey everybody, Israel here with Skyfi. In light of some of the recent talks about chucking an entire repo into an LLM in a single prompt and how funny that sounds, I did want to actually talk about how that's part of one of my current workflows that I've been getting a lot of good use out of. So, the way that I do this is with the tool called RepoPrompt, which allows you to simply select a directory and then go through and choose which subdirectories or individual files you want to include or exclude from this, what I like to call a mega prompt that comes out of this. So, um, yeah, with a repo this small, it's only 110K tokens. This is my MCP server template that I'm working on. Usually it's fine, especially if you're going to be putting it into Gemini for planning and the web UI like I do. Usually it's fine to just include the entire repo in the context so that Gemini has a better understanding of how everything works together in the code base, especially for a task like this where I'm like, look over the whole thing. But yeah, this is really cool. You can go in here with your main prompt and type it out in this little window, and then you can create reusable prompts that you can append to this mega prompt. Like the ones that I'm using now are architect, which is basically like you're doing high level overview of the architecture and planning. And then one I made called planner, which is really simple. Just write step-by-step instructions, be granular, etc. And so when you copy this, it includes the entire code base of everything that you have selected. I can just paste it in here and you can see it's got XML with all the files, the prompts that we've appended at the bottom, and then the entire code base all the way through. Another feature that's kind of cool about this that I don't use as often is context builder. So if you go in here, you can press generate. And what this will do is, based on the prompt that you have here, go through the file tree and select which files are most relevant to your prompt. The cool thing about RepoPrompt is that you can bring your own API key. So they've got most of the providers included. Something else cool is it also has an MCP server with quite a few useful tools. I haven't used this as much yet because it's not as much part of my workflow to use RepoPrompt straight to Cursor. There's that step in between where I have Gemini plan and the web UI, and then I copy and paste that into Cursor. But something that really stands out to me is this Git file tree. Because if you've used Cursor a lot, you notice that it will, no matter how many times your code base has been indexed, it will like grep your code base to look for things. And something that I used to do a lot was just create a text file with the file tree and append it to literally every single chat. So that's something that exists with the RepoPrompt MCP, super useful. There's also request plan, which is basically does the same thing that I'm doing when I'm pasting this mega prompt into Gemini. It's just that if you have the Pro plan with Google, it's free to do it in the web UI, whereas here you would be eating up tokens. Oh, and just one more brief thing. I wanted to mention my use cases for this type of workflow using the entire code base. So basically, if there's any really hairy bugs or larger feature implementations, or if I just want to give an entire repo that I've never touched to an LLM and chat with it to get some insights, that's kind of what I use this for. Awesome, folks. Thanks for watching. This has been Israel with Skyfi talking about RepoPrompt and some of my top use cases for it. There are other tools, but the quality of life that RepoPrompt provides is definitely worth it for me. I'm not sponsored by RepoPrompt or anything like that. It's just something that I very much enjoy. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on X or LinkedIn, and have a great day.